And now,
Breaking news.
Ahoy, the news.
news
From the Weird
Wire.
News from the Weird Wire this morning. Some good stuff here. It's animals. It's an animal.
We've had a lot of animal stories lately.
You never want to fall victim to a snake oil salesman. But perhaps the right person to remove a snake from possibly slithering in motor oil. Such action was needed for LeAnna Binkley, Eugene, Missouri. According to an Instagram post from the Missouri Department of Conservation, she found a snake popping its head out from underneath the hood of her car.
Looking for someplace warm.
She and her son Grady attempted to chase the snake out of her vehicle, but the sneaky passenger was determined to stay and dipped back into the hood. Binkley then decided to drive to the local school where she teaches and enlisted the help of several teachers and the superintendent. Can you just picture that event? All of these people that probably shouldn't be handling snakes, giving it a try. I mean, unless maybe they got the science teacher.
My third grade teacher had snakes in the classroom.
Oh, okay. So perhaps there was an expert in there.
Why am I remembering her name? Miss Stone, she could handle that.
And then look at, there's a bunny hopping through the backyard of the neighbors. Sorry about that.
Yes, folks, there was just something shiny here for Mark.
Cute little rabbit. It took some intense efforts, but the group was able to safely remove the snake, and it wasn't hard. What do you think happened? They scared it enough that it just jumped out of the hood and...
Well, I'm hoping that somebody figured out what kind of snake this was before they surrounded the snake and...
Looks like it has the markings of a corn snake.
Extracted it from the hood.
It's a pit viper.
I bet you if you just left it alone, when you came back after the school day was over, it would be gone.
Well, here's all I'm thinking about. That snake, right? He was obviously from that neighborhood where she lived. And she drove him all the way to the school. Hopefully it's not too far. Got rid of him. And now he's like...
It's not like zebra mussels.
Here he is in a different neighborhood, doesn't know anybody, doesn't know where to go. Trying to get back to his old neighborhood. Must have been cold that night. Or hot. No, cold. Well, we don't care about the snake anymore. Obviously, they don't. Breaking out 2, Electric Kangaroo. Did we already talk about this as a sequel? Because we've had a lot of kangaroo stories.
We have.
That's why we know about kangaroo law. And what states you can have them and you can't. Just like that movie, Kangaroo Jack, the story of a loose kangaroo in Colorado as a sequel. The Associated Press reports Irwin, the pet kangaroo, first got loose in the town of Durango this past fall.
Shouldn't you have a dingo in Durango? Not a kangaroo?
Irwin then escaped from his home for a second time on Monday. Upon catching him the first time, police were able to persuade Irwin, who was still a young Joey at the time, to hop into a bag that looked like a kangaroo pouch. Oh, that's smart.
Cops are smart.
Well, how many of those are just laying around in Durango, Colorado?
All he needs one.
Irwin has grown a lot since then, which forced police to think outside the bag. That technique wasn't going to work. So police commander Nick Stassi, the officers were debating whether they need to lasso it or what the plan was. Eventually, an officer was able to corner Irwin in a local backyard, snatch him up, and bring him into the police truck. Surely both Irwin's family and the town of Durango hope that Also, little Kangaroo Jack. This story doesn't get a threequel, but I think we do have a problem here.
Irwin doesn't like being in captivity. Which is why if I'm the cop who has Irwin cornered, I'm not going to go bear hug the kangaroo and carry him to the truck.
Right? I would be afraid of him kicking me. You know how they jump up and boom! Knock the wind right out of you.
And you speak from experience on this?
I just imagine seeing on TV and stuff. Remember that boxing one?
Yeah, they're always true what you see on the internet and on TV.
Florida man definitely has a cow, man. Bart Simpson offered the immortal advice that one should not have a cow man. We're pretty sure that includes not shooting a cow. Nonetheless, that's exactly what Florida man Hung Trin did when one of his neighbors' cow wandered onto his property. That's going to be a problem.
Is it bad that I don't want to consider eating a Florida cow or drinking milk from a Florida cow?
Why?
Texas for beef. Heck, we got a lot of good beef farmers in this neck of the woods. Not so much in Florida.
Gotta have cows. I bet there's cows in every state.
I'm sorry. If my package of ground beef or my steak has made in Florida, I'm going on to the next one.
According to a report from Leake County Sheriff's Office, Trin, of 54, had been angry in the past about livestock jumping the fence and threatened to shoot the animals. These are different kind of cows, because the cows that I know about, they don't jump
jump over fences.
He made good on his threat when an unlucky 2-year-old calf made its way into Trin's yard earlier in May, or it was shot a total of just 5. It's not funny. But I mean,
Mr. Trin, you're going to jail for a while.
Yeah, he faces charges for animal cruelty, grand theft of a commercial farm animal. That's what you're going to lose. I said no more.
I've heard of cows jumping over the moon. I've heard of, sheep jumping over fences. You're counting them trying to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Never cow jumps over fence, gets shot 5 times.
Right. Oh, what the other cows were thinking. Well, that's our animal news from the Weird Wire story for today.